Hi friends, welcome to another First Look. You know, it's springtime in Missouri right now and all the little gnats are coming out, so bear with me. Hey, today we're going to talk about one of my absolute all-time favorite guns, and that's the Browning High Power platform. Today's gun is particularly cool because it's a new introduction by EAA. It's called the MCP35 PI, and I think PI stands for Private Investigator because it's a shorter slide, which just sweetens the deal. You know, as I said, I love these guns. I have several other ones. Now, this is a custom row bar high power that I have a 22 conversion unit slide on, which, by the way, you should see if you could find one somewhere. You can see the difference is about an inch, give or take a little bit. And it's surprising what that little, just, you know, very minor change in length does to the handling of the pistol. It suddenly becomes a much more compact, you know, much more sort of in-close fighting pistol. I'm very impressed by this. As a matter of fact, some years ago, Terry Tussey built one for me using an Argentinian short, they called them a detective slide. And, you know, it just, they shoot great, they feel great, they carry great. I mean, we need to talk some more about this. EAA's new MCP35 PI, I'm thinking PI stands for Private Investigator, has an MSRP of $585, and it's made in Turkey by Girsan, famous for high quality workmanship. It's all steel, a slim trigger, it's got a firing pin safety, a 15-in-1 capacity. It's got the sort of classic high power ring hammer, ambi safety, drift rear, part of a 3-dot sight system, and a dovetail front, which is really convenient. The barrel length is 3.88 inches as opposed to 4.87 for the original. The grips are a checkered composite of some sort. It weighs in at about 32 ounces with the magazine in, according to my postal scale. It's 6.25 inches overall as opposed to 7.75 inches of the original full-length slide one. And this one is blued. It doesn't appear to be a Cerakote or anything like that. It's actually handsomely done in kind of a soft bead blast matte finish. Okay, it's all steel gun and it's blued, and at 32 ounces, I mean, it's not a lightweight. You know, it's kind of 1911-ish, kind of a little lighter than the standard barrel. This is a 3.8-inch barrel. A standard one is a 4.8-inch. So yeah, it's about an inch, give or take a little bit. And it's got all the basic high power attributes. This particular one has a firing pin safety, which I think is a good idea. The 15-round magazine is different because, as I recall, I think they were 12-in-1 or maybe 13-in-1, and so through the magic of modern technology, they've got you something a little more higher capacity. This does have the sort of typical crunchy, high power trigger, you know. Fortunately, there's a lot of people who know how to fix that, including Cylinder and Slide Shop has some drop-in high power systems that just, you know, give you a really nice, crisp, cleaned up trigger pull. And I recommend that after you shoot it a bit and break it in, because sometimes they'll settle in. You know, these guns were carried by military around the world, and still are, frankly, in some places. Police officers, they were used in competition. I used to use a high power in competition when I was on the Police Olympics. We used to shoot combat matches, and I got sneered at because it was a high power. That's not a 1911, and it's 9mm. It's not a 45, except lighter recoil, faster recovery. You know, it did make a difference, and it made a difference then, and it still makes a difference. Okay, enough talk. I say we shoot it and see what happens. Okay, we're set up at not quite 20 yards, and I've got 10 rounds in the magazine, so let's see what happens. I've only got a magazine or two through it. I just did it to function test it, and so I think if I practice a lot, we might do better, but let's find out. Well, I'm not overly proud about that, but let's try it one more time. Okay, I've got 5 or 6 rounds in here. Let's see if I can slow down and do a little better. You know, I have no doubt this gun will do better than this. I'm struggling a little bit with the crunchy trigger. All my other ones are tuned, so it's a really crisp, you know, trigger. But I can make all my excuses up in front like this. So that was pretty casual, and I wasn't shooting particularly slower. I actually tried harder on this one, and I think this shows the real way the sights are adjusted right now. But again, that little crunchy trigger, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. We often will take the two farthest shots out of a group, and what remains is often, you know, close to what the gun can shoot up to. So I think it actually would shoot up better than that. I'll be putting this on the bench and testing it and writing it up later on. And actually, I probably should do a follow-up video. All right, let's wrap this up. Well, there you have it, a quick look at EAA's MCP35 PI for private investigator, I'm sure. With an MSRP of $585, you know, you can guess at what the street price will be now that the sort of gun pandemic is pretty much over with. I think for the money, though, it's a heck of a deal. It's all steel. It's the classic high-power design. This is screaming for customization, you know, and so you end up with a rock-solid base gun made in Turkey. No one can hold a candle to them for gun making. They're as good as any other place in the world. Don't let that scare you away. So, all right, if you want more information, go to EAA's website. And until then, remember the 4 firearm safety rules and take a new shooter shooting, would you? All right, take care.